Okay, so once your Raspberry Pi's turned on, actually, you should have just a standard screen. Yours is probably gonna have the Most Tech logo emblazoned in the back, so maybe I can actually maybe I'll shove that back on just so you're not disoriented. Mm, There we go. Look at that. Okay, Most Tech. All right. Anyways, interesting fact too. Mostek, Mostek, was actually one of the biggest memory suppliers, and by memory I mean like computer memory, um, in like the world in the 1980s. And it sort of fell apart when the Japanese started doing it really well. But anyways, so Mostek is a word that has a history, completely unrelated to your Mostek. Okay, so anyways, once you have your Raspberry Pi turned on, there's a couple things you need to do to get it set up and running. The first thing is you got to make sure you got internet connectivity, okay? So right now, mine's actually hardwired, and by that I mean it's got an Ethernet cable going into the internets. So that shouldn't, so I don't need to do anything. Once it's hooked up, it's fine. If you're on Wi-Fi, you got to click on the little Wi-Fi radiation symbol and then enter in the secret passcode or whatever. If you have any problems with that, please contact me. We'll try to figure that out. Or, I mean, post on the forum too. Your friend, your fellow students can help you. The next thing you got to do is there's a file which we actually got to change. Actually, OEOP code, yeah, that has nothing in it, so good. So the next thing you got to do is there's a file which we need to change. And it's going to be a little weird to get to it. It's actually what we call a hidden file. So what I want you to do is go to File Manager underneath Accessories. And there's some stuff here. There's actually some music. This is a weird file. Whatever. There's the music folder. That's got nothing in it. There is the lowercase m music folder. That's actually got some songs in it, which maybe you can, use some Hamilton and some other stuff. Let's see. Why is 2016B? Oh, because I downloaded that. You won't have this thing. Anyways, so what we got to do is there is a folder a file which we need to change, and what you're going to have to do is put in your username and password that you have for Catsup, okay? And what this does is then, and there's another video which explains this, but this lets your Raspberry Pi be linked to your account, okay? So there are going to be some questions where you'll push a button and then it'll actually run some code on your Pi, and in order to do that, it's got to have your credentials. So what you want to do is right-click, go to Show Hidden. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. Scroll down until you find .catsup login. So double click on that and something will open up, just a little editor. And what I want you to do is you got to put first your username and then enter and then your password. Okay, everyone should start out with test group as a test username and secret as a test password. And then that should be it, okay? Nothing else at all. And once you do that, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll say. But once you do that, and also make sure there's no trailing return. So I just want username, password, no extra spaces or returns or anything because it'll freak things out. So once you've done that, I want you to go to Menu, Shutdown, and Reboot. So let's do that real quick. Shutdown. Whoops. Did I even click on it? I don't even think I did. Oh, there we go. Okay, Reboot. Because what it's going to do is it's going to go to sleep and then come back with your credentials. It'll go do its pretty rainbow start screen in a minute. And it's starting back up. Look, a nice little raspberry. Lots of stuff going by. Starting up just like a regular computer. And also be aware too, like, sometimes these Pis are not perfect too. So, every so often you might just restart it, okay? Like you millennials are all growing up with your computers that like you can, I don't know, they can survive the nuclear holocaust and stuff, right? The Raspberry Pi, it's a little bit sensitive, so just keep that in mind. So when you're back up, awesome, we could go up to the internets. Let's go to Epiphany web browser. That's probably the standard one. And it's going to take a little bit of time, right? Be patient with the Raspberry Pi. It's a fast, amazing thing, but it's also not a computer like you have probably been used to. Okay, cool. And there's probably going to be like, you can go to the Most Tech site. The other thing I want, and this is actually, we'll talk a little bit about this in the next video, but if you ever have hardware issues, one thing you can do is go to localhost, and then pressing this button will actually allow you to sort of reset that server. So that thing where you were doing the reason you put your username and password in, and you don't have to share that with anyone, it's just on your Pi, but the reason you put that in was so that there's a little mini program in the background, and that's actually talking to the server I have in New Jersey where we host the entire website and the entire class. So anyways, and then, if you don't want that, you can go back to your normal website or browse around or whatever you want to do. Okay, fantastic.